Greetings, everybody. This is Luke coming at you with another EDH deck tech. This one is probably one of the spikiest decks that I've built. I looked online, picked what I liked, and what I didn't like, I got rid of and sort of blended a couple of really strong elements together. This is Edric, Spymaster of Trest. He is Simic. 2/2. This is actually just sort of like a Simic taking turns for EDH. It's pretty nasty. And mine isn't super broken. I don't have Force of Will in it. I don't have some other ridiculous stuff, Time Walks and shit. But one and a green and a blue for a 2/2 elf. And whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, its controller may draw a card. This incentivizes your opponents to go after each other so that they can draw cards instead of hitting you. I played this in a 3-man pod last night at like midnight, and it was a husband and wife, and they kept hitting each other, and they're just like, boo, I'm gonna hit you to draw a card, nothing personal. Okay, boo, I'm gonna hit you back. And then they turned on me, and I had to whoop that ass. I didn't whoop the ass. She kicked the crap out of me pretty good, but I ended up winning. So Edric, that's him. He's banned in, I think it's called Paris Commander. In one-on-one Commander, this guy's banned because he's just too good. Way, way, way too good. So, basic lands, just like I said, make them work. We've got islands, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's what it is. 10 and 5. 10 islands, 5 forests. That's what I've got. Like I said, do what makes you happy, do what works. If you're very lucky with your land drops and you get flooded, use fewer. I don't care. All right, we got some mana dorks here. You got Findern Elves, tap for a green. Llanowar Elves, tap for a green. Priest of Titania, tap for a green for each elf in play, whether you control it or not. And it's a 1/1, it costs 1 and a green. So there's an elf sub-theme, obviously, into this deck. And the idea behind this deck is to get as many 1-drops, hopefully with evasion, onto the field to ping your opponent and draw you cards. And then you start chaining into Time Walk spells. Elvish Mystic, it's a Llanowar elf, except slightly less old. Sylvan Safekeeper, it's a 1-drop for 1 green. It's a 1/1. If you sack a land, target creature gains Shroud if you control it until end of turn. Boreal Druid, it's an elf druid that's a 1/1 and it taps for a colorless. Sky Shroud Ranger, 1/1 for 1 green, and choose a land from your hand and put it into play. You can only do this at sorcery speed. I did have Sakura Tribe Scout in here, but this is an elf, and so it does better synergy with Priest of Titania. That's the only reason that's in here. Now, our 1-drop creatures with evasion. Triton Shorestalker is among the best of them. 1/1 can't be blocked, period. Mausoleum Wanderer, 1/1 flying for 1. Whenever another spirit enters the battlefield under your control, Mausoleum Wanderer gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Sack him to counter an instant or sorcery spell unless its controller pays X, where X is his power. I don't know if there are any other spirits in here, so he's just a flying curse catcher. Cloud of Fairies is essentially free, 1 in a blue, 1/1 flyer. Cycling 2, which you'll never use probably, and when comes into play, untap 2 lands. Surveilling Sprite, 1/1 for 1 in a blue. When he's put into a battle graveyard from play, draw a card. He's got flying, and he's a Fairy Rogue. Fairy Rogues are also interesting and important for this for a specific reason. Cloudfront Raptor, 1 blue for a 0/1 flying, evolve. Scrib Sprites, the white bordered version, because I'm sad. Unless there isn't a white bordered version. Maybe. All right, flying 1/1 for 1 green. Fairy Imposter, 2/1 for 1. Flying, when it ETBs, sack it unless you return another creature you control to its owner's hand. Spire Tracer, 1/1 for 1 green. Can't be blocked except for our creatures with flying or reach. Solana Ledgewalker, 1 and a green for a 1/1 unblockable except by creatures with flying, and it's got hex proof. And now the flavor win, Flying Men. 1/1 for 1 blue with flying from Arabian Nights, it looks like. Gudul Lurker out of Dragons. Can't be blocked. Megamorph for, 1 blue. And when you cast him face down as a 2/2 creature, and he gets a 1/1 counter on him when you bring him face up, but you're just going to drop him regular like. costs a blue. Thada del Arquisitor. It's a 2/2 island walk for 1 and 2 blue. Whenever she connects to a player through combat, search that player's library, exile an artifact card, and then they shuffle, and until the end of turn you can play that card. I did this with an expedition map yesterday, and then I got to cast a really badass land. Treetop Scouts. Can't be blocked except by creatures with flying. 1/1 for 1. Fairy Miscreant. Flying. 1/1 for 1. If you control another Fairy Miscreant, draw a card. We don't, but we don't care. Hypnotic Siren. 1/1 for 1 blue. Bestow 5 and 2 blue. You can cast for its bestow cost, and if so, it's an aura spell, and it means you control enchanted creature, and it gets +1/+1 and flying. Ether Figment. 1/1 for 2, 1 and a blue. Kicker is 3, and if it's unblockable, and if it's kicked, it comes into play with 2/1/1 counters on it. All right, now before we go into the utility creatures, I'm gonna do the non-basic lands here as well. Now, yes, this is a proxy cards that I have, nothing else. 99.9% of the time, because I don't want to break apart my modern decks and other EDH decks just to assemble this particular one. I am in a casual environment, and if I ever went to compete, of course, I'd take the proxies out, but it is what it is now. So Flooded Strand, Verdant Catacombs, there's some fetches. Command Tower, obviously taps for whatever. Gaia's Cradle, that's what I fetched up with the expedition map yesterday. Taps for a green for each creature you control. Amazing and expensive card. Pendlehaven. Taps for a green, and if you have a target 1/1 creature that you control, gets +1/+2 until end of turn. This one is in Italian. Yavimaya Coast. Painland. Breeding Pool. Shockland. Mana Confluence. Painland that taps for anything. Temple of Mystery. Scryland. Woodland Stream, Tapland, Simic Gilgate, Tapland, Simic Growth Chamber, Bounce Land, Lumbering Falls, Manland, Hinterland Harbor, Buddyland, Thornwood Falls, Lifeland, Terramorphic Expanse is a fetch a basic, Evolving Wilds fetch a basic, and then the Dick Tower, which is very, very important. Reliquary Tower, because you're gonna have a whole buttload of cards in your hand. Rogue's Passage, haven't used it yet, but it'll be nice to have. Taps for a colorless, and then you can pay 4 on target creature can't be blocked this turn. All right, that's the mana. Make it work like I say. Phantasmal Image. It enters the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it's an illusion, and if it becomes the target of a spell or ability, you have to sacrifice it. It's 1 and a blue. You are going to pretty much only, if you can help it, you're only going to copy 1 card, and that's Eternal Witness, and I'll show you why in a bit. Horizon Chimera, Chimera, whatever. 3/2 flash, Flying Trample. Whenever you draw a card, you gain a life for 2 and a Simic. This should probably be another 1-drop flyer. 1/1, I'm not going to lie. I'm playing a little loose here with this one, but I don't have any life gain, so it makes me a little nervous. Psychosis Crawler is another potential win condition. 5-drop. Cards in hand are the power and toughness, and whenever you draw a card, your opponents each lose 1 life. Eternal Witness. You're going to use this to get back your Time Walk spells, period. Caustic Caterpillar. It's a 1/1 for 1 green. You pay 1 in the green, sack it, and you destroy an artifact or enchantment. Pongify. Destroy target creature. It can't be regenerated, and its controller gets a green ape token onto the field instead. Sakashima Student. Ninjutsu, 1 and a blue, and it costs 2 and 2 blue, and it comes in and it becomes a copy of whatever you want, which is usually going to be, like I said, again, Eternal Witness, to get back more Time Walks. Snapcaster Mage gets back an instant or sorcery from your graveyard. Trigon Predator. It's 1 and a Simic for a 2/3 flyer. When it connects with a player, destroy target artifact or enchantment the player controls. If you have something that, like a Meek Stone, that's going to hurt you, or Crawl Space, that's going to hurt you, not you, but if one of your opponents does, Rhystic Study, anything like that, or even a Ghostly Prison or Propaganda, this is going to have to be able to get rid of it if you can't counter it. So it's in here, but again, it probably should be, honest to God, another 1-drop evasion. but I'm playing a little fast and loose here. Clever Impersonator becomes a copy of a permanent onto the field. Eternal Witness. 1 and 2 blue. Or 2 and 2 blue, excuse me. Rex Sage, the pretty one. Get the pretty one always. 2-1 for 2 and a green. Thassa, God of the Sea. Rex Sage destroys an enchantment or artifact. 1 ETBs, by the way. Thassa, God of the Sea. Enchantment, creature, god, indestructible, legendary. 5/5 for 2 and a blue. At the beginning of your upkeep, scry 1. You can pay 1 and a blue, and target creature you control can't be blocked this turn. Now let's go into the artifacts. Soul Ring. Expedition Map gets you your Cradle. Thought Vessel. No maximum hand size. Taps for 1 colorless. Exploration. Just got this yesterday. You can drop an additional land on each of your turns for 1 green. Mystical Tutor. Gets you a Time Walk spell, pretty much. Search your library for an instant, interrupt mana source or sorcery, reveal that card to all players, and shuffle your library, and then put that card on top of it. Green Sun Zenith. Tutor for a green creature, mana cost X, and put it onto the field, and then shuffle your library with Green Sun Zenith in it. Carpet of Flowers, 1-drop enchantments. During your main phase, you can add up to 10 mana, or X mana, of any one color to your mana pool, where X is the number of islands target opponent controls. This might go. It's really good, but it might go. I'm not sure yet. Nature's Will. 2 and 2 green enchantment. Whenever one or more of your creatures deal combat damage to a player, tap all lands that player controls and untap all of your lands. It's pretty badass. Beastmaster Ascension. Might be a win more card, but it's still a serious threat that they have to deal with because you're no longer pinging them for nothing. You're going to be hitting them for real damage. So 2 and a green enchantment. Whenever a creature you control attacks, you can put a quest counter on Beastmaster Ascension. As long as Beastmaster Ascension has 7 or more quest counters on it, creatures you control get +5/+5. Coastal Piracy. 2 and 2 blue. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to an opponent, draw a card. This could be another counter spell. It could be more low to the ground. It could be some sort of better mana rock. I don't know. But it's in here for now until I decide it's not worth having. Regrowth. Gets back a Time Walk spell. Bring any spell from your any card from your graveyard to your hand for 1 and a green. All right, here we go. Time Walk spells. Temporal Trespass. These are, by the way, just the ones I have. There are better ones out there. If you've got them, use them, obviously. But I can't afford to mortgage my house for anything else. Dax, I think, is about to start barking. Hey, Dax, chill. We'll take a quick break to show you my doggy. Daxie! Hey, hi. Say hi to all the people. This is my big slobbery doggy. Sit. Sit. Good girl. High five. Atta girl. That's my beautiful doggy. You see a little stripe on her snout. That is Slobber, because she is a big slobber monster. Okay, all right. She's also very pushy. I'll love you later. Let me finish this, please. Thank you. Oh, what a sweetheart. All right. I won't be long, doggy. Just don't bark or go crazy. Danes have incredibly loud barks. Okay, this is Temporal Trespass. 8 and 3 blue, Delve, take an extra turn, and exile Temporal Trespass. Time Warp. This is a proxy because all my Time Warps are in my mono blue turns list for Modern. I'll probably deck tech that eventually. 3 and 2 blue, target player takes an extra turn after this one. Be careful with this. First of all, it's great because it goes back into your graveyard and you can regrow it. Most other ones you can actually, they have to exile. This says target player, which means somebody may try to redirect it or commandeer it or whatever. Or like ricochet trap it or something. So just have a little counter magic backup if you think somebody's trying to play something slick. The guy I was playing with yesterday tried to redirect this back to him, and I had to counter that shit because ain't nobody going to take extra turns but me if I can afford it. Notorious Throng is the best time walk that we have. That's the one we got to get back every time because that wins us the game straight out almost. It's a tribal sorcery rogue. You remember how I said earlier that rogues are important in this list. I've got a bunch of rogues in here in addition to Edric, who himself is a rogue. But Notorious Throng is a sorcery, tribal fairy, or tribal rogue, 3 and a blue, with a prowl cost of 5 and a blue. Put X 1/1 Black Fairy Rogue creature tokens with flying into play, where X is the damage dealt to your opponents this turn. If you pay the prowl cost, take an extra turn after this one. So you just keep getting it back and back and back, and you just punish your opponents. Part the Water Veil. Take an extra turn, exile it, and potentially awaken a land. I don't usually do that now. 4 and 2 blue. Dax, shut up, please. Thank you. Temporal Mastery. Miracle, 1 and a blue. Otherwise, it is a 5 and 2 blue. Take an extra turn after this one. Exile Temporal Mastery. Walk the Eons. It is 4 and 2 blue. Sorcery with buyback. Sacrifice 3 lands. Target player takes an extra turn after this one. And again, that one goes into your graveyard, so you can actually use it again. Daxy, stop pestering. All right, Cyclonic Rift. Everybody knows what it does. Overload it for 6 and a blue and bounce everybody else's non-land stuff to their hand except yours. Intervene. Here we're getting into the counter spells. There are a bunch of them because you want to protect and you don't have a whole lot of removal. Intervene, 1 blue. Counter target spell that targets a creature. They're going to try and get rid of your Edric. You're going to counter it. Counter spell. Mercadian Masks version. I like the art on this one. It's kind of freaky. Counter target spell. Cancel. Counter target spell. Unsubstantiate. Return target spell or creature to its owner's hand. You are most often not going to use this as a remand. You're going to use this to bounce your Eternal Witness back to your hand and get back one of your Time Walk spells. Clever, huh? I wish I'd thought of it. Negates, 1 in a blue, counter target non-creature spell. Arcane Denial from Alliances, it looks like. Counter target spell, that spell's caster can draw up to 2 cards at the beginning of next turn's upkeep. You yourself draw 1 card at the beginning of next turn's upkeep. Unified Will, counter target spell. If you control more creatures than that spell's controller. If the game's going well, it should be you, and you should be able to cast this no problem. Sometimes people are going to try and Wrath, and then that's why I have Heroic Intervention in here. 1 in a green, instant permanents you control get hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Metal. 1 in a blue, interrupt. Target spell which targets a single creature now targets another creature of your choice instead. The targets have to be legal, but say they try and Swords to Plowshares your commander, and then you metal and you do it the same to them. Turn aside. Counter target spell that targets a permanent you control, and disallow. This is probably too expensive of a counter along with cancel. It should be something smaller and lower to the ground and cheaper, but this is an awesome counter, and I feel like having it in the deck right now. So that's it. So this is Edric. Once again, incredibly spiky, very competitive, high level, and like I said, dude, this is banned in one-on-one EDH. He's absolutely monster. Really powerful, especially if you get snowballing. So enjoy. Feel free and like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how I can make these videos better for you. If there's anything you want to see, if I have most of the cards for it, I might very well put it together. I will tell you I had some bad roommate situations where one of my roommates was addicted to cocaine and stole about $1,000 worth of my cards, including my Zergo list. So don't expect me to build anything too crazy right now. That's why I'm sort of getting into Pauper EDH, because it's a lot cheaper and I get to look through the comments and build it out of stuff I already have. But that notwithstanding, I'll be happy to do some more EDH lists for you soon. Once again, hit that like button, subscribe button, helps out a lot, as Wedge would say. And I'll talk to you soon. I guess that's from Seth from MTG Goldfish. I'm just a big fat plagiarizer, I guess. Whatever. All right, Dax, say goodbye.